Hi, everybody. How are you today? I need to ask, is there any uh, father support groups out there that help fathers? And if so, can you link it to me? I need help finding groups like that. Yeah, yeah, what about some crazy show?
And go watch some Nazi propaganda. Absolutely, completely, right?
Yeah.
And you pitched his tent towards Sodom, 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 and you.
I mean, there's probably some things that the devil uses other people for, but, you know, the Jesuits are pretty high up on the list. But let's go on to the next one.
Exorcisms, once mainly performed by Catholic priests, were usually done quietly behind closed doors. But that's not the case with some modern-day exorcisms. As Fox 6's Sherry Palmieri reports, one evangelist says he has performed thousands of them. Take a look.
Of Almighty God, torment! I pierce you. You look at me, Satan. I'm tormenting him. Get up! Get up and face the judgment of God. Get up. Get up! Get up! Get out of the way, June. Just let the evil be there.
June Kim came to one of Reverend Bob Larson's seminars for an exorcism.
Who are you? Who are you? Your name? Murder, huh? Well, get up, murder!
The 35-year-old, who was repeatedly molested as a child by a family friend, says demons have tormented her for years.
Rage would come out of my being. It's just not normal. I just hated myself and just really angry inside.
The biggest cause of demonic possession in the Western world is sexual abuse. More than 50% of the people we deal with have been sexually abused, mostly women. How many generations, murder? How many? How many? How many?
The history of exorcisms goes way back 2,000 years ago to the origins of the Catholic Church.
Woohoo!
Let me stop there for a minute. Because you see the news reporters, it's kind of funny because these secular news reporters are telling the truth. But you get this faker, Bob Larson, who's a Pentecostal preacher, by the way. And you can check out his channel. He has a YouTube channel. And he does these videos, you know, answering your questions. And the guy's dressed like a stinking Jesuit priest. I want to show you some rather remarkable things about old Bob Larson here, this Pentecostal Protestant. Yeah, sure. But you see, this whole thing that this woman is doing and stuff, it's fake. Okay, these guys will use the power of suggestion. They're hypnotists. They will go in there and then Bob Larson, I'm not a hypnotist. I don't know how to do hypnotism. He says that in another one of the videos that I watched of the guy. But complete faker. He's a fraud. If you want an exorcism, it costs you $500. I'd be careful of anybody that does these exorcisms and deliverance ministry and stuff like this. I know Bill Schneblin, which I've talked about and been promotional of some of the stuff he's put out. I'm real careful about that guy now, to be very honest with you. I mean, he's going wingnut Hebrew roots and the whole thing and stuff.
Oh, he's out.
You know, Where is there a priest with a tonsured haircut holding Jesus Christ as a little baby and kissing and snuggling with him and stuff like that? Where is this at? You know, you say, why are you even bringing it up? Well, because the lusty, you know, look in this child's eyes is looking into the priest's eyes, and there you have this pervert priest again, you know, and he's holding these white lilies symbolizing purity. Oh, isn't that wonderful? What are you doing with a little naked baby that's not your child? I'm not going to get into the phallic significance of the tonsure haircut there of that monk. Big surprise that was in cover that are into the just thousands upon thousands of these pervert priests. One of these perverts. But what if you're a pedophile priest? And see how there's makeup and stuff on the child's face and it's meant to look attractive and kind of like that? Here's a painting which I saw and I thought, this is rather telling. Okay? No. Look at that picture. Now tell me, is that thing biblically accurate? All right? Now, taken by Chambers. Okay? You have St. Anthony of Padua and Christ Child. You're a pervert. Okay, stuff, you know, they just push the envelope of what is acceptable and they call it art. So the Cornell Law School there, the law in pornography. I believe the answer to that question is a definite yes. So, but if you jump down to number 11, now here's where they will squeak through. The Roman Catholic artists down through the centuries, they'll squeak through with this definition because you don't need to be vexed. Conduct. Now, I will show you that. And certainly Roman Catholicism has added to this thing of child pornography. And I'm going to advertising. 2256 U.S. Code number 18 their definition, Information Institute, Cornell University Law School's legal, okay. And I have here and I call it child pornography because it has no basis in scripture. Softcore child pornography. I'm not even going to get into the actual child pornography. I'm going to show you and I believe that they've been doing it for centuries. And is the Roman Catholic system guilty of promoting child?
Or he comes second coming. Who's ever heard that one? This comes with his own, right? The second coming, he comes. And unto the coming, Venus had be preserved blameless for his own. Was at some later time. Until when we're reunited with you, when we're gathered together with you, joy at the coming of our... Go, if you would, to meet him in the air. Comes in the clouds until the time that we... For he that wavereth is like a wave of nothing wavering from the spot. You want me to get up here and just lie to you? And it's better to get it out in the open. That's the way... No. Let's not talk about it because I like to only talk about positive things. You know? They're burn, then bow! I see him coddling Demas and who keeps going back and forth on a decision instead of just locking in on something, burned alive in a fiery furnace, then you know what? Go ahead and throw us in the fiery furnace. Burning fiery furnace. We're not doing it. They're minded and unstable from the fiery furnace. Steadfast, unmovable, American Standard Preaching Church, Bull.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm alright, but how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I saw you were. I just got home with Sut. We have been shopping some food for dinner,
Oh, that's...
and I saw you were live and alone, and I wanted to join you.
Oh, thank you. Today, I've been sad all day.
Why? Why are you sad?
Because this kid I'm fighting for, his dad
Yeah.
had to go back to court. Today I'm just scared of... Not today, October 28th. Just so scared for him. Do you know any
Yeah.
father support groups that could help him?
Ooh. I don't know, but what I do know is that when it comes to things like bottom surgery, that isn't done in the US in any state on minors. So the only like treatment option, if we're talking like medical treatment options, is puberty blockers.
Yeah, I don't want
And
him to go through that.
I know,
I want to keep him safe and stuff. It just
I know. Have you talked to him?
the kid no, but I did talk to the dad before,
Yeah,
and it's been a while since I talked to him.
yeah.
You know, I'm just scared for him.
I know. I know you are. But if you have the opportunity, I think you should talk to the kid and kind of get his perspective or her perspective. I don't know.
He I don't know how any way to get a hold of him, but my friend talked to him before,
Yeah.
and he says he
So because he can't, they can't force when they do this. I'm saying this to maybe um, alleviate your worry and stress. Uh, they don't. So before anything, like any medical intervention is done, like puberty blockers, uh, they go through extensive. So it always starts with like social transitioning, which could include changing name and uh, dress like the gender.
yeah I know, but I need to his mom manipulates him into doing that stuff. His mom's a child abuser. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I seen a video when he was 3 years old before they even broke up. He
Yeah.
says he's a girl because his mom told him he is because he likes girls. That that's because of what I see on I read in the trial thing that they said
Yeah.
what caused all this is he wanted this frozen girl toy because he probably have a crush on her or something. And ever since then, his mom thought he's a girl or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because when they, as I said, maybe it can alleviate you somewhat. They won't go through with anything, with any puberty blockers or anything, without extensive therapy with the kid when the parents um,
Uh,
are not there. And the therapists are people who are specialized in kind of sussing out uh, if this truly is the best
I
for
need to.
them.
Oh, sorry. I need to tell you. He been through that with his mom there, and she was never not there when he's talking to them. And I need to tell you, a lot of psychiatrists are not all of them, but a lot of these psychiatrists I found out are not good people. They not all of them, but there are ones out there that uh, here's a lady told her her fellow psychiatrist to scare parents into doing that. They don't. They will commit suicide type stuff. Yeah, these psychiatrists in here are not very good psychiatrists. Not all psychiatrists, but a lot of them.
No, because they will, even so, when they have spoken, she's older now, this kid. So
No, he.
uh,
I think he's probably 11 or 12. I
Yeah.
remember his age. I'm not sure how it is he would be right now. Oh, what do you say?
Um, but so they will, even after the court thing, they will still uh, what's the word? Make an assessment on it. It's very very rigorous, and um,
Uh,
I
I
I so I
oh, go
of
ahead.
course I can't make any promises or anything, but maybe to make it a bit easier on yourself. Uh, it's not going to be they get the go ahead and and they are going to talk to the kid alone, even if that hasn't happened yet. Uh, and I also think it would be a good thing to for you to try and have contact with the
Hi,
mother.
Lupin.
What's up, gangster?
How are you? I did try to get contact of him already before, but couldn't.
What's up?
Oh,
Yeah,
hi,
yeah.
Lupin. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm getting ready to go to the pool.
Oh, are you going to do your famous back flip?
Not for free.
Oh,
Oh.
you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, did you have fun at Mr. Macho?
Yeah, it was a good show.
That's good.
You were there.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. Let me ask you something. What do you do if you saw this? A
Man,
transit priest.
I would want to show I want to show you one of the funniest wrestling clips, but I don't want to get your channel like struck down for violence from a wrestling clip. But it's funny. I think you'll like it.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see if I can find it for you, and I'll
Well,
just
can I show
post.
you? What do you do if you saw this guy in person? A Jesuit priest. Bless you, my child. Oh, sorry.
No, thank you.
What do you do
Hey,
if the Jets did take over?
I'm gonna be walking.
Yeah, are you there? Uh, can you hear me, Miss Uckus?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, it's Oh, you're
Yeah,
frozen.
Lupin has frozen. Maybe he went into the water too quickly.
Uh, I don't know, but yeah. I'm trying to save this kid. Uh, yeah. I need to. I've seen so many bad cases of this. Like these people, even adults, want come in there in the psychiatry. They for one, that a lot of people who detrain and stuff said that only after one case of them talking to their therapist or psychiatrist, they said they should be transitioned after one case. It happened over and over again, and you know,
Yeah, but that is the psychiatrist saying, yes, you are a good candidate for this kind of procedure. But that starts this whole uh, there is like years of there.
uh,
It's not just so directly to
oh, are you there, Lupin? You're breaking up. Can you hear him, Miss Outcast?
no.
Uh, you there, Lupin?
Nope.
He disappeared.
It disappeared like a thief in the night.
This guy must have the Jesuit. Lupin was the first one to expose him as what he is. But yeah, and I need to. Yeah, I just happened
Yeah.
to can't try to save the kid from his mom. His mom's an evil, lying, brainwashed monster.
Hmm.
She's messed up in the head. She's evil. I did try to get a hold of her, but never got a hold of her.
Hmm.
But yeah, yeah, I've been doing all kinds of tries. What the? Oh, there he is. He's back in here. Are
Hello?
you there, Luke? Did the Jesuits get you?
No, I'm gonna be walking to the pool, so I might lose connection once or twice.
Oh. What do you do if you get attacked by a Jesuit priest called Mark Stoney? I mean, a Jesuit priest.
Attacked by the Jesuits.
Yeah, they're out there everywhere, waiting to get you.
It's funny.
It's like Night of the Living Jesuits. Yeah.
You know what's funny? Thought about that.
What?
I've thought about that story more.
Are you there?
More than what?
Uh, he froze up again. Oh, see, the Jesuits got a hold of him.
Mm-hmm.
Do they got a hold of you, Lupin? Oh no, they got him. The Jesuits finally got him.
Oh no.
By this guy. He doesn't look fat to me on here. Do you think he looks fat?
No.
More like he's like bent over a bit. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Tim thinks he looks fat on there.
Nah.
He's not fat. He's big bone,
Exactly.
right, Lupin?
The Jesuits are attacking.
Oh no!
They're
Oh
blocking
no!
my cell signal with their
No.
skirts, with
Do
their
you think
dresses.
like Tim? He said that Jesuits try. He talked about like a conspiracy theory about they try to take over the world.
Yeah, they took over the school system.
Oh no! They did. Is it
Yeah,
because of this guy?
No.
Oh,
no, I believe it's
oh.
like Leo.
Are you there?
You can't.
You're breaking up.
Yeah, you're roboting.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello?
Now we can hear you. There's another person.
Yeah,
Oh, another person.
McCheese. Hi, McCheeseburger.
Howdy.
we
Oh,
have.
How are
How are you,
y'all?
how are you today?
I'm good. Just taking a little lunch break.
Oh, that's good.
Again.
Again.
Oh, when is your next show? Will that be Monday or Tuesday?
It'll have to be. I thought about trying to push and press and do it tonight, but that's not going to happen. So yeah, it'll be Monday or Tuesday.
Would you like to do a show about? Is it going to be about the devil again or about another angel?
It'll be that. It'll be part 2 of that.
Okay. And you seen that part when the Job part? God was there, and the Son of God were there, and then the devil went up to him to challenge him about Job.
can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
And
What's
then,
your question, Logan?
is that what it's about? Like that was like a bit of a war between God and the devil over the soul of a man.
It was a bit of a wager. I wouldn't call it a war, but it seemed to be a wager of sorts.
Oh no!
What was that?
Be careful, the Jesuits are out to get you, especially this guy.
By Chick Publications. Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good on the Chick Publications thing.
Here's a Jesuit.
He's like, check out Who to Vote For by the Mormons. Spoiler alert, it's Mitt Romney.
Oh. Oh, Loopy! Lupin. Lupin, Lupin.
Doopity-doo.
He takes a poo right on. See?
That's not polite.
Oh, sorry.
No, by him, I mean.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not polite to poo on
Lupin, are
people.
you naked in public again?
Yes, he is.
That's not good for public.
Oh, I had my mic muted.
Oh, sorry.
I forgot what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay. Uh, what's that about?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I found a decent.
what?
I found a decent. I found a decent spot where I got some okay internet, and it's a little bit out of the sun.
Oh, that's nice. I remember the last time you were in the sun a lot. I'll show you. There's one time you were in the sun a lot. You were cooked like this.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Oh, like this. Oh, like
All right,
this.
I'll probably be in the pool, so I might not be able to hear you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Why
Well,
are you
like
on the
this.
internet if you're getting in the pool?
To show everyone his new bod.
To hang out with my friends.
Yeah.
Lupin, this is violence, what you're doing to us.
He's wearing shorts. Oh no. Pike, Brother Pike, he's wearing shorts.
I envy the blind.
Uh, Brother Pike, yeah, some, yeah, and what else? Where else the Bible talk about the devil besides the Garden of Eden? In the Garden of Eden.
Well, we read like 8 passages last night.
They also talk about it.
It's getting pretty chilly.
Are you sure? But
Yep.
yeah, oh, did the devil try to steal Moses' body?
That's a very interesting question. I wrote a chapter in a book about that one time.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't
say,
know that.
say what? Did you write about Moses' body?
I did. There's a great mystery surrounding the body of Moses
Why?
because it's in question whether or not he ever died and whether or not his body ever rotted in the manner of bodies after people die.
Oh,
Yes.
And it's a very interesting subject, actually. Um, there's a secret about Moses' body, and there's a reason that Satan and Michael were arguing about it. And it ties into the transfiguration, the rapture of the church. It's very interesting, actually. Yeah, when I wrote a book called Out of Egypt, which was about biblical perfection, and there's
Mm-hmm.
a whole chapter in that book dedicated to the two witnesses in Revelation, the two olive trees. And it's my belief that Moses and Elijah are those two witnesses.
oh.
Oh.
But do you think, uh, guys, how does that Daniel put a time limit on the Messiah?
In Daniel's prophecy, it prophesies a timeline of 490 years, which is referred to as 70 weeks. And that 490 years is broken up into a few sections. And at 483 years, the way that 483 years, which is 69 weeks, is marked at its end is the death of Messiah. So we know that after 483 years, the Messiah was to be cut off for the sins of the people and not for himself. Now, if you follow, excuse me, the timeline from Nehemiah being given the commandment to build back the walls of Jerusalem, 483 years after that was given, Jesus died at Calvary, proving that he was the Messiah and proving that Calvary was the marking of the 69th week coming to an end. So the timeline is pretty rigid. It's pretty definable.
Would Nehemiah voted for Trump
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand the
to
question.
get that wall built?
Oh, good. That went over my head for a minute, Lupin.
I
That
can
was pretty
understand.
good. That was pretty good.
Loopity-dee.
Lupin, you're all right, man. I don't care what I say about you. You're all right.
I don't care what you say about me either.
Lupin's all right. I'll tell you what.
Oh.
But I'm confused, Pike.
Okay.
You said 400 something years.
Okay, so Daniel, in the book of Daniel, he was studying the prophecy of Jeremiah. And he said that it was made known unto him that in prophetical utterance that a day showed a year. And so 70 weeks is 490 days. And so it was made known to Daniel that 70-week prophecy was actually a prophecy of 490 years, and every 7 years showed a week of the prophetic calendar. And so it said after the 69th week, at the end of the 69th week, which is 483 years, Messiah would be cut off for the sins of the people. So the fact that Calvary happened 483 years after Nehemiah proves that Jesus was the Messiah. And the fact that he was cut off at that moment at Calvary proves that that was the end of the 69th week. So that gives us a pretty rigid timeline prophetically to understand what Daniel was talking about.
Yes.
Oh. You
Now,
ever?
the other subject about Moses and Elijah, there's a lot of different opinions out there about who the two witnesses are and whether or not they're figures that we already know or figures who are yet to come, etc. I wrote a chapter in Out of Egypt to make it a case for the fact that they not only are Moses and Elijah, but have to be Moses and Elijah. So if anyone is interested in that subject and they want to understand my perspective on it, I'll be happy to send them a free copy of Out of Egypt. It's available on Amazon, but I always offer copies for free, of course. And there is a chapter in that book dedicated to proving that those two witnesses are, in fact, Moses and Elijah.
You serious?
I'm serious, as a heart attack.
Are you serious as a Lupin taking a pooping?
That's not a question I'm interested in answering.
Uh,
But I am as serious as a murder hornet attack.
um, yeah. But Cash, uh, what would you say to Toby Singer? This guy likes to sing.
Wait, what? I don't
Toby
know.
Singer.
Like in regards to singing, I'd be like, get it, Hoss.
He, he's this crazy guy. But what would you say if uh they said that when that proved that Jesus already came back then? Is that true?
That's a very interesting question because the coming of the Lord is something that happens many times in many ways in different dimensional truths. And so it is true, like for instance, that on the day of Pentecost, he returned to the church in a certain form. You know, he told them in Matthew's account of the Great Commission, he said, I will be with you always. But the one that returned to them at Pentecost 50 days later was the Holy Ghost. And so from that moment, that's what Jesus meant when he said, they shall see me no more, but you shall see me. He returned in the form of the Holy Ghost. So Pentecost was the coming of the Lord in one aspect. Now, that's not the complete fulfillment of the coming of the Lord. You still have things like Revelation chapter 19, where his corporal body, which is referred to as a vesture dipped in blood, returns. So there is more to the subject. There's not just one coming of the Lord, it's a thing that happens in multiple dimensions, so to speak. But you could say that it has been fulfilled partially at Pentecost. That is true. But his corporal body, that vesture dipped in blood, is still prophesied to return also.
Oh, you serious?
I'm serious.
What? Who do
When
you
do you
think
think
is
that
the Antichrist?
you don't think that happened yet, right?
Revelation 19? No, I don't think that happened yet.
Okay, so that's prophecy that has yet to be fulfilled, correct?
Yeah, I believe that Revelation 19 is the last thing that happens before the millennial kingdom. And the millennial kingdom is the last thing that happens before the great white throne of judgment and the new heaven and the new earth. So I don't believe that the physical body of Christ has returned yet. I believe that is what happens in Revelation 19.
Oh,
Right.
Oh, Tim said he did a video
Okay.
on Moses and Elijah. Tim, I would love to watch that video. Please send that to me. What do
oh,
you think, Lupin? What is your opinion about this?
On what I just swam in. What are you talking? Hello.
About the coming of the Lord, what do you think about it?
Yet?
oh.
Do you hear me? I said I don't
What
think it's happened yet.
about? What do you think, Brother Pike? Are you there, Brother Pike?
I think he might have been raptured.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you
yeah.
now.
Hey, I got business calls coming in. I'm gonna have to jump off here. What was I want to answer Lupin's question though before I go? What'd you say, Lupin?
Oh, he just popped out.
Oh,
Oh,
okay. Well, Lupin, I would love to follow up with you on that sometime. That's a subject I'm very interested in. All of these are subjects I'm interested in. The two witnesses is
Oh,
a
he's
subject
back.
that I'm super interested in.
He's
Hello.
back.
Hey,
are you there? Uh,
I think he dropped the phone in the pool.
oh no.
Oh
Hope it's an Android, not an iPhone.
Oh, he's a crazy little guy. But what would you like to talk about next, Brother Pike?
The next thing we'll be doing, part two of our Satan series, will be focused on Satan in the Gospels. We'll be going through all the accounts in the Gospels and in pretty much just in the Gospels about where Satan and or unclean spirits are interacted with, and we'll see what he's like in the New Testament versus what he was like in the Old Testament. So the next account will be
This
focused on Satan in the Gospels.
By the
this
way,
says in the
Christian,
Old Testament. Okay.
I said I don't think Jesus has come back yet. Again, has come back
Okay, so
yet.
you're agreeing with me that Revelation 19 has not happened yet. His physical body has not returned.
That part, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So would
Uh,
that automatically disqualify you from being a preterist?
Well, I'm not a preterist. There are
When
some beliefs that the preterists have that I think that are correct, but overall, I'm not a preterist. I don't agree with their overarching theology. I do believe, like, I'm afraid to use the word dispensationalist because people use it different than how I use it. But when I say dispensationalist, what I'm meaning is that I believe in a dispensation of grace inserted between the 69th and the 70th week, which takes a lot of time to explain because it's a big subject that you have to be able to justify and prove. Now, when some people use the word dispensationalist, they mean it differently. So I've kind of quit using that word. Um, but let me think of how to explain that the best.
I don't like to
So,
be put instant isms behind my name either. I don't like putting um they're not titles, but put myself in a category or group of people like
can we call you
Calvinist or Calvinism or
Lupin
no,
then?
I don't do that either, to be honest with you. I try to avoid that myself. But
Lupinist. I don't even like to be
I,
a Lupinist.
I am not a preterist because the as far as I understand it, unless I'm misunderstanding preterism necessitates that you believe that we are currently in the millennial kingdom, and I don't believe that. So I can't
Uh,
be a preterist because I don't believe the millennial kingdom has started yet.
Could you be a
Now there
predator?
are some things the preterists teach that I think are correct, But the overarching theology I don't agree with because I don't believe that we're in the millennial kingdom.
Funny known fact: preterism and futurism are Jesuit teachings.
I don't care about any of that. All I
Dun
care
dun
about is what the scriptures
dun.
say.
What do you think about that, Gangster Ghost?
Well, preterism is not a Jesuit teaching.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, the Jesuits don't actually believe in preterism.
Oh yeah? What about this Jesuit? This one.
Dun dun dun.
I do want to say I do have to hop off here and make some business calls, but Tim had posted in the comments, do I use the Mount of Transfiguration as one of my evidences? Yes, Tim, I do. The Mount of Transfiguration is one of several evidences that I use to make that case. And I'm actually very impressed that you mentioned that. I want to talk to you about this further.
Yeah, my phone's at like 20%. Gangster Ghost. I might hop off too in a little bit. I'll stay for a little while longer
Okay, thank you.
in case anybody
Yeah,
else wants to jump in.
as far as preterism, it's my understanding that you have to believe that we are currently in the millennial kingdom in order to be a preterist, and I don't believe that, so I think that disqualifies me from being a preterist.
What's the millennial kingdom?
The 1,000-year reign of Christ on the earth when Satan is put in the bottomless pit.
Okay. What is that supposed to look like?
Peace and tranquility, and it says that anybody who won't come to Jerusalem to worship won't have any rain on their crops.
And when do you have any thought on when that's going to happen, or do you just leave that
Well,
up
I know,
to
like
Christ?
in the prophetical timeline, I can show you in the scriptures when it happens, but to
Well,
translate
do you
that
think
to a
you
real
think we're
world
close?
timeline,
You think we're close?
yes, I do think we're close. And
Crazy,
obviously,
huh?
close is a gray word, but the
But
reason
like
I
maybe
think we're
like
close,
within about 1,500 years.
1,500 years. Wait, hold on, I might have lost what you were saying.
Do you think that the millennial reign would maybe happen in 1,000 to 2,000 years?
I think it'll happen within the next 100 years.
Okay, so you think we could experience it in our lifetime?
I
Some of
certainly
us,
don't rule that out as a possibility.
sure.
Well, the reason I believe that, there's a couple of reasons, but one of the primary reasons is because we're approaching the 2,000-year anniversary of Calvary, and I do believe that the dispensation of grace was intended to last 2,000 years.
You think God works in? Seems like God works in in millennias, huh?
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think that the 1,000-year reign of Christ, in its allegory, shows the seventh day of God's rest.
Let me throw a firecracker in here. What do you think about that, Deviant?
What do you say?
Is there anything there?
Oh, what do you say?
She's trying to act like she didn't hear anything. It's okay. It's all right. It's
She
okay,
probably doesn't
Deviant.
really have
I
an
understand.
opinion about this, to be honest
I know.
with
I
you.
know. I know. I'm bullying her. That's okay. Um. Yeah. No. That's an interesting topic, though.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel's prophecy is super interesting. Me and Mark have talked about it for hours. We had a live stream about it. I've had live streams with other people about it. And in God's Evergreens, when I wrote that book, I talked about it towards the latter half of the book quite a bit. But it's something that's such a big
Well,
subject that it's
Mark is a preterist, right?
yes, Mark is a preterist. Mark believes that we are currently in the millennial reign, what I call the
Oh, you know
millennial
what?
reign.
But I read that there are soft like there are soft preterists and then there are hard preterists. I guess that's like a hard priest and a soft priest. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's all stupid. But
Well, it's not stupid. The preterists have a lot of really good points that they make.
yeah, but the flaws in it disqualify it.
Well, it goes back to what I was saying earlier. I don't consider myself a preterist because there are certain parts of the
I'm
overarching
not saying
theology
that
that I don't
anymore.
agree with, but there's a
Yeah.
lot of the groundwork that I do agree with.
Okay.
The idea that Jesus was speaking to people of his living generation in several places is absolutely correct.
Well, for sure. Yeah, he was talking to the Jewish people under the Jewish law because he was a Jew fulfilling every single Jewish commandment and law there was to die to die sinlessly.
But that is a lot of the foundation of preterism is recognizing that.
Oh well, I mean that's just a historical fact. If you accept the Bible as a historical book, I mean that's just
You're making
historical.
a lot of preterists very happy by saying that right now.
Well, I mean that would make any sense to any Christian, I believe.
Now you're making even more preterists happy by saying that.
Hi,
What'd you
Mark.
say?
Uh-oh.
But no, as soon as you
Mark said,
say
"What'd you
that,
say?"
as soon as you say that all the prophecy in the Bible has been fulfilled, then I would immediately start double checking into that theology because it's foolish.
Why?
Because we're watching Bible prophecy happen before our eyes.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
Can you demonstrate that?
yeah.
Go ahead.
But right now is probably not the best time because, like I said, my phone's
Oh
gonna
yeah, of
die, and
course.
that's gonna
Of course
be
not.
that's gonna be a long conversation. If you want, I'll have that talk on my channel.
Well, I mean, you made the claim here, and now you're running away from it. So you're wrong.
Well, I was on Missing Mod show. I was on Missing Mod show for a good
More
hour,
excuses.
an
Then don't
hour and
make
a
claims
half,
like
and
that
I'm
if
over
you're not
here.
willing to defend your
And
statement.
I
What are the flaws?
literally I said that my phone is low on battery, and I gotta go soon anyway.
We can skip to that part.
I'm not making an excuse. Like that was before you
I'll
got
be
here.
happy to, if this is something you guys want to explore further, I'll be happy to
So,
set up a discussion.
I'll have a discussion on my
I thought your
channel
channel got deleted.
anytime, except for you, Christian. I still have my old channel and alternate
Oh,
channels.
I mean, whatever you guys want to do, I'm happy to help arrange it. I'm sure a lot of people, I'm sure, want to hear more about this.
Yeah. No, yeah, this is fine, Mark. But yeah, you still can't come on, Christian. You still owe. I'll move the price. Look, I'll move the price down 50%,
What are we talking about?
so 25.
Oh,
If you
nobody
want to
wants to
come on
come on
my
your
show and
channel, Lupin.
discuss
We're
it,
just trying to do you a favor.
okay, okay, all right. Well, I'm just letting you know if you change your mind and you want to come on, or if somebody wants to pay for you, I'll lower it
If
down to
it paid me
25.
$25, I wouldn't come on.
Oh, okay, that's fine. But yeah, anyway, I don't know, Mark. If you want to talk about that, I'm more than happy to answer your questions,
I think you've got a lot more
but at a
questions than
later
answers.
time, maybe.
So
Look, I
what's
do
your
got to get back to
problem
work for
with
real. Are we going to set
predators?
something up?
I don't care. We can talk about it right now
Huh?
until his phone dies.
What's up?
I have to get back to work, but if y'all want to set something up, I would be happy to
Oh,
help arrange that.
well, just find my channel whenever I'm live, and you drop a comment in, and we can discuss it.
So you're not willing to come discuss it over here on an open panel?
No, on that topic, I'd like it on
Why?
my channel because that's the kind of stuff I like to talk about on my channel.
Okay. I guess I mean that's up to Mark, whatever he wants to do, but I'm sure that there are plenty of people who would like to hear that discussion. So I mean, if we're gonna do it, we should do it.
Invite them to my
I
channel.
mean, you're right here, right now. Invite him.
Right.
Okay,
And
well
you're the
then
one
come to
talking about
my
people got to
channel
pay
if you guys want to hear
$25 and
that
all this kind of
discussion.
foolishness. That's why nobody goes on your channel, Lupin.
No, not people.
But
Just
Lupin, nobody
just you,
goes on your
just you,
channel because of
Christian.
foolishness like that.
Just you.
I mean,
People come
Nobody
I
on
comes
my
on your
joined
channel all the
channel.
this
time.
stream to address the claims you were making on this stream, and I mean, I don't know why you want to carry it over to your channel. We could just talk about it
I
right
don't.
now.
I don't have to do it. I don't have to do it on my channel. I don't have to talk
What's
about that at
Lupin
all.
trying to
I'm
get
taking
attention
you.
for now?
Okay, perfect.
What
Well,
kind
Perfect
of
he made the
title
timing.
is
claim
this?
that
Thank you.
preterism is flawed, so it should be rejected as theology, which
He immediately leaves.
Well, I'm convinced.
Oh my goodness. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the
Stop
righteous are
taking
as
my
bold as
stop
a
taking my
lion.
lines. Those are my lines.
I did that before you, Christian. Mark
Boy,
witnessed it.
you was in diapers when I was doing that line. Shut up.
Nah, nah.
Oh yeah.
I pulled
Here,
that line on I pulled that line on Bolin when I was just when I typed in a chat that Bolin was in. Hey, what's up, guys? And Bolin just immediately left.
was that earlier?
That was around the time that Steven was trying to get Gangster Ghost to show his face in the name of Jesus.
Show your face in the name of Jesus. What does that mean?
No, that's correct. That's correct. He commanded Logan at one point to show his face in the name of Jesus.
Command is a serious request.
Yeah, commanding somebody in the name of Jesus is a pretty serious quest,
All
too.
right, Logan. Well, I guess you got to show your face.
Yeah. You don't have a choice. No, that's obviously not true. It's kind of like how Steven said on his channel the other day. He was like, "I'm just so glad that we've got an ordained minister on our channel now," or he said an ordained pastor or whatever. He was thanking Dan for being ordained. It's like, Steven, didn't you claim you were an ordained minister like a year ago?
What does
Weren't you
that
running
mean?
around
Dan
claiming
ain't
to
in charge
people
of
that you
nothing
were
but
an
like
ordained
customer
minister?
relations.
Here, I finally did it. I showed my face.
All right, look, I got to go back to work. But if you guys want to do more stuff on this, and even if Lupin wants to do it, I'll be happy to arrange it and try to attend because I am interested.
Nah,
I
Lupin doesn't want anything to do with anything as long as I'm around because he knows that I can hold him to account in a way that actually upsets him.
The thing that I
Pisses
don't
him
understand
off.
about Lupin is like, I don't know if y'all were listening earlier, but me and him were like talking normal, getting along for like 10 minutes, and nothing bad happened. And then all of a sudden he's like, "You got to pay $25 to come on my channel," and it's like, where did that come from? I thought we were getting along.
Well, he
Yeah.
doesn't want to actually get along. He wants to ostensibly get along long enough that he can like have this perception about him that nobody thinks of except him and Stump, that like he's just this innocent victim in all of this that's just getting horribly persecuted.
This is what I look like.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Wow.
I am super interested though. I've been begging Mark forever to do some teachings the way that I do them, but he won't do them. But I wish he would.
Yeah.
I'm not a
Here,
teacher.
Yeah, but
that's
just
what
do it though.
I look like
Just
right
do it,
now.
huh?
Be like Mike Nike and just do it.
Oh yeah.
Make like a tree and just do it. You know what I mean?
Look what I look like.
That is.
What's your reputation for the quote-unquote this generation argument, Pike? Well, Tim, you see, it just makes perfect sense that the prophecy got put on hold because that's what happens all the time in
Tim
the
a
Bible.
preterist?
Prophecies just get like put on hold.
No, he wants you to refute my claim that the generation Jesus was referring to were his contemporaries, and
I
not
don't have
some
any
future
refutation to that
spiritual
claim.
generation.
Tim has been doing that a lot lately. He's been asking people to like make arguments for him,
I
and it's
don't
very
really have a
confusing.
reputation for that claim. You know, it's like I was telling Lupin. There's a lot of stuff the preterists teach that I agree with. I don't have to like 100% agree or 100% disagree to take what I think is correct from something. Like this polarizing mindset is so fallacious where it's like, hey, either you're a Baptist or you're not a Baptist. And it's like, no, I mean, I agree with some of what the Baptists teach. Like I'm allowed to do that.
Well, polarity is often advocated for by small-minded people who can't understand nuance and how it objectively paints a better and more deep understanding of our world than just this polarizing yes or no, black or white kind of approach
Yeah,
that
life
people
is
like to
not
take all the
actually
time.
like that. You know, do you remember that one time Bruce was on there and he was arguing with Chuck and he was like, "You're a Catholic because this and you're a Catholic because that." Not that that's an insult to Chuck, but I was like, "Bruce, I want you to answer a few questions real quick. I want to prove that you're a Catholic." And he's like, "Okay." And I was like, "All right. Do you believe that God sent his son to die for the world?" "Yeah, I believe that." "Do you believe he rose to the third day?" "Yeah, I believe that." "Do you believe faith in his name?" "Yeah, I believe that." "Okay, you're a Catholic," because they believe all that stuff. That was easy.
No, I'm not, because that doesn't make me feel good inside if you call me a Catholic, so that's not true.
It's just like, why? You know, why does it have to be this or that? It's like when someone's like, "Well, are you a preterist? Are you a Calvinist?" I'm like, what scripture would you like to discuss? You know?
Well, I'm sure that discussion between you and Lupin is definitely going to happen right about the same time that Steven's going to have an open-ended discussion with you.
Yeah.
I feel like they're going to be right about the same time as each other.
I'm so tempted just to show up at DAL unannounced.
Well, Steven isn't there anymore, so you
Oh,
wouldn't
is he
even be
not
able to
there
find him
anymore?
there. No,
Oh, well,
he's
the
he
temptation
actually
just
got asked.
decreased, so you can tell
He
what
he
my motives were.
he got asked to do actual manual labor by Kent Hovind after his documentary kind of flopped and didn't go anywhere
Oh yeah, flopped
whatsoever.
hard.
So yeah, he ended up kind of like leaving.
Yeah, it
And
was like a flip flopping fish on the dock. Flopping on the dock of the bay.
Nice. I like that.
I feel like it wasn't nice, but okay.
I feel like that's what Professor Pants listens to.
I miss Professor Pants.
I too miss Professor
If
Pants.
only
I
we
really
could have
do.
found out who he was.
We need Professor Pants' compatriot.
Oh
Professor,
man, I miss
we need his
I miss
Dr.
Clayton
Shorts to
Daytona, the Scoot
Clayton
Master.
Daytona. The Scoot Master? Yeah, I was about
Yeah,
to cite the
the
Scoot
Crystal
Master.
Methodist.
I think
I
the
feel like
Crystal
all I'm good
Methodist
for
is
is sock
probably my
accounts.
favorite. I mean, you do good teachings every once in a while too, I guess.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I
it's
can
mostly the sock
begrudgingly
accounts,
say
though. You
that.
know what I mean?
No, you're right. It's like 95.84% sock counts.
Mark, would you like to do a detailed study one day on preterism, where we can go over it and answer all the questions and stuff?
I mean, we could talk about it whenever.
Well,
I'm
I'm just
down
thinking we
for
could do like a
questions right
formal
now.
thing where like you come like prepared and we go through all the points and then you take questions if that's something that you want to do.
Okay,
Yeah, I could do that.
Mark's
Sure.
always prepared because he's a hard
He is prepared.
priest.
That's true. Mark has sent me many notes, and I was like, "Dang, I wish I made notes like this." My
That's
notes will be
messed up.
like Matthew 15:9. Try to remember what it says. You know, like my notes are horrible.
That's messed up, Aiden. I'm just asking a genuine question to Pike to hear his thought. Yeah, that's fair enough. And I was being silly when I said the whole prophecy being put on hold thing. That was obviously me being silly.
Are you
Wasn't being
silly
serious.
with gum jobs?
Well,
I
the
am.
truth is the burden of proof is on me and Tim. The obvious answer is the answer that Mark agrees with. The burden of proof is on us.
Oh. What about what does Miss Outcast say?
The
Well,
burden of proof is now on her. I've transferred it.
oh, because I don't even know what you're talking about. So
You
I
know.
feel that burden of proof is pretty light. Actually, I can bear it.
No, really,
You
I mean,
ask
that's one thing.
her.
Like those of us who believe in any kind of dispensationalism, the burden of proof is on us.
What about
Yeah, I can't dispense of anything.
what
Deviant
about
Outcast says like, "Oh, Egypt is a real thing; it exists." And then you ask her like, "Okay, do you have any like proof for that?" And she's like, well,
All
All right, look, I gotta get back to work, but let's do that show sometime because I think a lot of enjoy.
Sure.
Okay.
But all right, see you guys later. Tim, send me a
See you,
message
Pike.
with that teaching you were talking about Moses and Elijah. I would love to watch it.
Have you ever seen Deviant Outcast and the entire country of Egypt in the same room before?
Few
Because
people
I don't
have.
think I have personally.
No.
as a guy haven't?
What? Mark, you have, please.
Have I?
Anybody, please.
please.
Even if Lupin came on here and said that, she would grasp at that straw.
Oh yes. Lupin, please.
Yeah, I saw it. It was a little too blurry for me to tell what it was, but yeah, I saw something. That's for sure.
You know,
Egypt
when
isn't
you...
real. It's just Swedish propaganda.
It is.
Oh,
It is.
Excuse me?
See, that's exactly what a Swedish propagandist would say.
You see, Sweden fought in one of the coalition wars against Napoleon. And what was one of Napoleon's famous campaign grounds? Oh yeah, this place that like allegedly existed. Yeah, okay.
Porn and dynamite?
That's right. Why are all these people like trying to depose me? Gosh.
They should make a movie. Him as the actual poignant. That'd be good. Yeah.
Wait,
I love
I don't know why everybody's got like a problem. Like I just took Moscow. Gosh.
I love how Lupin was making all kinds of sniping remarks about preterism and claiming that it's flawed and should be rejected. And the second I come on to challenge him, he runs away. Oh, we can do it later, man.
Man, dude.
Man, dude.
I gotta go and languish in the pool for another 20 minutes. They only have to fill the pool halfway, and then when I get in there, it goes up to the brim. So yeah, it helps them save water. So I'd like to think that I'm like environmentally friendly, you know.
You know, when you make that voice, Aiden, I start to get kind of a hangover.
As soon as I do that voice, like your motivation to do anything with your life just like precipitously drops away,
Yes,
and you just kind of
yes,
feel like languishing in the same spot all day, like Jabba the Hutt, you know.
yep, that's what I do.
Well, Tim's having a show today as one of the Resident Evil guys.
What?
What?
Yeah, he's going to be one of the Resident Evil guys right here. See?
Oh,
Yeah, he's going to be a Resident Evil guy.
Cool.
The gangster team. But, Brother Mark, how was your date today, little guy?
It's been pretty chill.
Oh, that's good.
awesome.
Nice day. The weather's cooling off.
Has he blessed any houses today as a Jesuit priest?
No, I'm not a Jesuit priest.
Are you sure?
I might dress up as one for Halloween.
Oh.
I was gonna say you should.
I need
No
to
one would understand the point because everyone who understands this is in this room right now.
Here's a very messed up. I seen very messed up costumes I have out there as praise. You definitely want to make sure you don't get any of those. They're very messed up. Wow. Wow. Have you seen them, Miss Outcast? The messed up priest costumes?
No.
They're very messed up.
I bet.
They have them in an altar boy. It's creepy. Is that weird, Mark?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, Mark? You should know you're Mark.
Right.
What about Mark?
Messed up. I get most of what I know from Gangster.
I can we imagine you as a priest.
Why?
I don't know. I can imagine you as a Jesuit priest.
Why though?
I don't know. I just don't know why.
Okay.
Stop trying to get him to justify. Why are you putting him on the spot, Mark? Jeez, why are you pulling a Lupin here, trying to put Gangster Ghost on the spot? What the heck?
Yeah. I guess so be it.
Yeah, Steven was on Miss Mod's channel earlier.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. What do you think of that?
I don't really have much to say about it, I guess.
What
They're all
about...
buddy-buddy again, that's fine.
Was Aiden on there with him?
I don't know.
Were you Aiden?
Was I what?
Were you on the show with them?
On Proverbs, guys?
No, earlier on Miss Mod show.
Oh, I joined for like 5 minutes because I was at work, but Bubblegum was saying some really stupid crap about computers and the brain, and I went on there to point out that he's talking about binary computation and comparing that to the brain. And when I pointed out that there's no such thing as a chemical computer anywhere on the planet, and that's how our brain works. It works on chemical reactions carried through synapses and neural transmitters. Like, that's the functionality of our brain. It doesn't work on binary computation. So his constant, like, inference of our brain being a computer and like a computer, and you should be able to find all the information on your brain just like you are a hard drive of information stored in your brain. Like, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. No, it doesn't. And when I went on there and I refuted that, he went on this little temper tantrum about, Aiden said a straw man. I didn't say it was anything like a computer. I didn't say it was anything like a binary. And then later on, he literally used the words, it's like a chemical binary, was what he said. Which, how can you have a chemical binary? How does that even work?
Yeah.
Binary?
Like, that's just gobbledygook. It's a bunch of driggle draggle that doesn't make any sense. I love that word. That's good. That's a new one that's been added to my dictionary. Driggle draggle. I love it.
Well, it's not necessarily wrong to compare a brain to a computer. It's just an oversimplification. I mean, the way that
It's
computers retrieve information and the way that the brain functions are vastly, vastly different.
our brains throughout human history have been compared to numerous things, and they're always compared to the most complex piece of machinery that we have at our disposal. Like, we constantly compared our brains to the steam engine during the Industrial Revolution. Oh, our mind is like an engine, it's powered by electricity, just like the brain is. It can work on different frequencies and it can work hard depending on what's given to it, kind of like how nutrients will depend on, how much or how little one has access to cognitive functions and things like that. Like, it's always been compared to whatever the most advanced piece of machinery that currently exists in our society is. And the computer's no different. So Bubblegum likes to act like he's like this like iconoclastic thinker that goes in just a completely different way than mainstream thought on these things, but he ultimately arrives at the same vast oversimplification that I've heard countless other people give, which is like, yeah, the brain's just a super complex computer. I mean,
Well,
yeah, I'm
his
sure once we invent a device that's more complex than the computer, whatever form that might take, that's what the brain is immediately going to be compared to.
Well, his question, where does the brain store memories, is kind of a malformed question, because it's not so much where, it's how. It's like every time you experience something, your brain is creating new neural pathways that are connected to old neural pathways, and they build upon one another and create memories. That's why we
That's
are
correct.
able to recognize things, because we've seen it in the past and our brain has formed these neural pathways to identify that object or whatever it is, or concept is for what it is. That's vastly different from how computers have just a simple input ones and zeros in a certain numerical order, and that information is locked in place. It's not fluid. It's not brought up in the same way. We don't bring up memory by commands. It's brought up by stimuli from, I guess, what would be
Correct.
comparable to an I/O system, input output, but ours is so much more advanced, and it's also interconnected and dependent on one another. It's just a completely different form of operations.
Well, I mean, ultimately, it just, when you actually really take a microscope to his ideas and try to figure out what they are, they're revealed for the simplistic garbage that it really is, for lack of a better term. Because, like, when I told him, I was in the room and I only had like 5 minutes, like I said, so I couldn't really expound on it. But when I brought up neural pathways, like you had just said, and how we've shown through neuroscience that, yeah, in order for somebody to learn how to play the piano, they can't just suddenly know how to play. You can't just walk up to a piano and just instantly know the operations of how to play it. You need to spend months and years in the instance of the piano, constantly learning how to use the keys and what form and what formation. And that creates neural pathways within your brain that are developed and are more easily accessed through repetitional learning. So yeah, that's something that we can tangibly see within our minds, is something that's developed over time. And his refutation to that was, well, no, that's not true. You just know how to do it after you learn how to play the piano. It's like, how do you know how to do it? Like, what does that
Neural
mean?
pathways were formed.
Right, exactly. No, it's not the thing that we tangibly can link to that. You just know because magic. It's just ridiculous. It just, like I said, if you drill down into any of Bubblegum's ideas, it just ends up, you just find a bedrock of contrarianism at the heart of all of them.
Exactly.
Do you believe in magic? Young Aiden's heart. When
Do you
he's
believe in love
turning,
after loving?
turning 18. When is your birthday? October 12th?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, you're turning
Deviant, is
16.
it the 12th right now where you are?
Oh,
Aiden's finally
Deviant!
turning 16. He can get his driver's license.
Turning 18. Thank you very
Oh, okay,
much.
my bad. You can vote.
Yeah. I
eh?
can vote and I can die in meaningless conflict overseas. Woo!
Don't do that.
Will you go over to fight Bruce? Oh, Miss Outcast
Oh, whatever. No, that's a totally legitimate argument.
Oh, Miss
Brianna
Outcast.
says that I can't use Deviant's time zone being the 12th to open my presents early, and that's a bunch of crap. I could
Why
totally use
not?
that to open my presents early.
I'm gonna say, she'll be right back. She's doing something. Miss Outcast. But
Nah,
Oh,
she's a
okay.
woman. Brianna's a woman, so they probably have some womanly solidarity, and she's gonna be like, "No, I can't do it."
happy birthday, little guy. My little guy grown up. I remember you when you're just a little guy.
When I was just a little baby. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I had this
Little
on my
lad.
calendar. I was going to ask if you were the Aiden that had a birthday tomorrow. No, that's the other Aiden in our community.
Oh, 8 dens. 8 dens.
That's
That's
an
8
irritor.
dens.
8 dens. That's right.
What about this? Bring back Lupin's channel.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because when I talked about the chat, I was thinking about how Lupin is alcoholic with a blood BAC of 0.03, and his channel was taken down due to misinformation about vaccines. I made a little song about it. And Lupin, he said he totally misunderstood. It flew over his head. I mean, surprise, surprise. But he's like,
Oh, what channel are you talking about? You talking about Ken Hovind's channel? You seem to know a lot about that.
it's like, dude, I never reported Ken Hovind's channel once. I know that like you and Missing Mod have this weird conspiracy theory that I did that because I reported some guy's comment as a joke one time on a live stream and it didn't go anywhere.
Oh,
Like that guy's comment is still there to this day, I promise you. It's not
who
like
is this?
YouTube just goes and takes things down for no reason whatsoever. The website's not quite that broken yet.
Who is this guy you talk about? Is that Steven?
I mean, they're all the same.
Oh, okay.
They all
Uh,
meld into one eldritch creature.
oh. But uh, Miss Ma said that might be her last show for a while.
She says that a lot.
It's an addiction.
Yeah.
Like Bruce, whenever he says that he comes around for like sharing the scripture, and then last time he was here, he didn't share any scripture at all, and he admitted he was just here to like try to piss me off. Like, it's addicting.
Yeah.
It is. But much like most addictions in life, that's not a good sign.
Oh, are you going to get birthday spankings? 18 spankings?
We're not talking about that on the show, Gangster Ghost.
Oh, okay. Oh, by those the Steven Anderson chords.
Yes. Yes. She's gonna get an electrical cord ready and well, you know the rest.
Oh. What do you think
Oh.
of Mark?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you there, Mark?
What was that? I'm
But
sorry,
is
I was reading
Deviant
something.
here?
No, she's eating.
She's busy.
Soot Kiddo made her some
But
supper.
Mark.
Oh, nice. I wonder what she has. I wonder what Soot made her.
Mark.
Yes.
Would you, if the Jesuit priest did decide to hire you to work for him, would you? They pay you $1,000 an hour.
Like that's gonna happen.
And you can go around and say, "Bless you, my child,"
Well,
to everyone.
I would have to
Even
convert to
they
Catholicism first, and then
would you if they pay you $1,000 an
probably
hour.
not.
To be fair, I know more than one Aiden. Fair enough, fandom. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard time. I did just get back from the museum though, so I'm going to bid thee farewell. I mainly just came on to ran Lupin off, so
It was good to talk to you, Aiden. Have a good day.
yeah. Mark, Tarkov later.
Thank
You
you.
better, Mark.
Okay.
You've been skimping on your Tarkov duties, Marine.
I'm ready right now if you are.
I can't. I gotta wait for my wonderful lunch that's being made by my beautiful woman.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Do you believe in magic? What a young Aiden's heart.
All right, talk to you guys later.
What?
All right. Bye.
Uh,
Yeah.
but Mark,
Huh?
what's wrong, my son? Has has the Jesuit order treated you well?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
but
think
you're a
they've
good young
treated me
man.
any kind of way. I seriously doubt they're even aware of my
Oh,
existence.
are you sure?
Well, no, I'm not
Tim
sure,
says
but
being a
I think that's a safe bet. What do you want, Grace?
oh, Tim says that being a predator is at least
How does
being
that make
Catholic.
sense?
I don't know, but well, I think he said that the Pope supposed to be the representation of Jesus on Earth, and that he came back to be that. Guys, I have some questions for you about preterism. One is that did they? Always, I heard them say that the Bible said that Jesus would come back to rule
Where do they
physically.
get that from?
I don't
Oh,
know. That
okay.
what they say.
Well, I think he's ruling spiritually.
Please. Oh, what if they say everything is so bad now, and how could this be the uh, millennium kingdom? What do you think?
I believe that we have peace with God, that Jesus overcame death and sin, and that through his sacrifice on the cross we have access to him, to the Father.
Oh, that's good. But what do you say if they said that? Well, like that one thing you said about people here not taste death until they see the kingdom of the heaven come. I heard they say that they try to say that that's when John saw the revelations.
Um, I don't think so. The passages where Jesus states, "This generation shall not pass," that's found in what's known as the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, Mark 13, and Luke 21. Um, there's also some statements that say there are some standing here today who will not taste of death before they see the Son of Man coming in His kingdom.
Yeah, that what they said. I heard they said that that part is he's talking about the part in Jonathan from John in
well,
Revelations.
the people who are critical of my position usually will say, so let's go to here. I'll share my screen and we can look at this.
I just wondering. I have questions
Sure.
because you are a great Jesuit priest. I just
All right, let me share my screen. So in this is Matthew chapter 16, and at the very end of it, we find Jesus say, "For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom." Now, I take that to be the millennial kingdom, that Jesus ruling and reigning in in spiritually. Um, People who critique my position will say that in the next chapter it talks about the transfiguration. But the problem I have with that is in the previous chapter it said Jesus said he's going to be coming in the glory of his Father with his angels. But that's not what we see in the transfiguration. We see Jesus coming with Moses and Elias. They're not angels, they're men. And furthermore, Jesus says, "Don't tell anybody." He says, "Tell the vision to no man until the Son of Man be risen again from the dead." So Jesus is saying, don't talk about this. Don't even mention it. But what we find in the previous chapter is that this coming of the Son of Man that he's talking about, that there be some standing that shall not taste of death to witness, it says that then he shall reward every man according to his works. So I find it curious that Jesus would be talking about the transfiguration here when he rewards every man according to his works, because for the transfiguration, he said, "Don't tell anybody." So that seems to really contradict what they're implying Jesus is saying, that the coming here in Matthew 17 or 16 is somehow fulfilled in the next chapter, when the signs of these events don't line up. The coming in the kingdom is clearly stated to say with the glory of his Father and with his angels. That's not what happened in the next chapter at the Transfiguration. Jesus did not come in the glory of his Father with his angels. In fact, it was Moses and Elias that came as Jesus was transfigured. It's not the same event.
Oh, they also try to say it was about John seeing the revelations. Like uh, when he saw the when he wrote it down for revelations and stuff. I heard people try
Um,
to say that.
yeah, no, I don't think that's it. I believe John lived to see the events that he wrote about in Revelation. Jesus said to the disciples, "What is it to you if he tarry till I come?" And he was talking about John, and tarry means to stay or remain. And they even asked Jesus, like, "He's not going to die?" Jesus says, "No, I didn't say he wasn't going to die. I said, what is it to you if he lives till I come back?" So he wasn't implying that this was going to be some far off future event that's going to have John living miraculously beyond his age to see. No, he's saying it's a very near future event. That some of you are going to die, but John's going to get to see it.
Oh, yeah. What do you say? Some people try to say that. Well, her atheists, I think, try to say that's not all of them, but try to say that's a failed apocalypse prophecy. What would you say
I
that?
I think that atheists will call it a failed prophecy because they listen to the interpretation of futurism that claims it hasn't happened yet, and it makes no sense, because when Jesus says, "This generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled," he was not speaking of a future generation like these futurists want to argue. He was speaking about that generation.
Oh,
So when somebody is taught that he was speaking of a future generation and it's 2000 years later, it seems kind of ridiculous that it would have been put off for so long.
oh, oh. Yeah. What would you say to someone who says, uh, oh, yeah, I did read a, what's it called, a, website that said it was talking about what Jesus meant about end of the world was just the end of the,
Well, the word used there that's translated to world is actually eon, the age. Um, I guess 1611 English was, more interchangeable in that context of ages and world or whatever, but the Greek world doesn't the Greek word doesn't imply, the entirety of the earth. It really is narrowed down to just the age it's talking about, or an eon, or generation, what have
the
you.
whole known world?
No,
Right?
well, when Jesus is talking about the end of the age, he's talking about the end of the age, not the end of the world. It's
Oh,
translated in the King James to the end of the world, and I think that's where a lot of this confusion can come from. Um, but if you do study and understand that this was written in a foreign language, go back and find the definitions of the words in that language. It's pretty obvious that there was. I'm not going to call it a mistranslation, but it didn't age well, pun intended.
oh. Well, Mark, what do you think about Phantom say?
What did Phantom say?
Mark, have you considered that Jesus was referring to a spiritual generation?
Well,
And
the
what?
only time I've considered that is when Tim brought it up, and I've never heard of such a thing of a spiritual generation. Um, a generation is a generation. It doesn't really have any other. meaning. Um, the plain reading of these passages indicates that Jesus was referring to the very generation to whom he was speaking. Like all throughout the New Testament, like in every other instance, this generation is consistently referring to the current living generation. I don't know why um, you would take this one instance of generation and apply it differently than you would for the rest of the instances. Like, for example, Jesus frequently rebuked this generation. Matthew 11:16, Matthew 12:39, and 23:36. These are all, uh, you can read it for yourself. This is where Jesus is rebuking the very generation he's talking to, not some future generation or spiritual generation. Um, there's just no indication from the text that he ever used the term in reference to a distant future or spiritual generation. It's just not there.
How do you tell you? I've been so nervous and scared because October 28th, that's when Mr. Younger's going back to court to fight for James to keep him safe from his abusive ex.
Yeah.
That scares me. I want to make sure he's safe.
Well, just pray, That's the most you can do. And I know you share his link there too. So you're doing everything you can do.
Do you know any groups that father groups?
No, not really.
What What about the Jesuit order? Do they do?
I don't know anything about the Jesuit order.
Just joking with that, Mike.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I just like to joke. But Mark, what do you think that crazy Amish guy?
I think he makes a lot of good points, but then he goes off the rails with crazy stuff.
Yeah, he definitely doesn't believe in preterism. I think he tacked on one of his segments.
Yeah, that's fine.
He's a crazy Amish guy. He's not actually Amish. He just looks Amish. I think he secretly is Amish. He just doesn't. He just lives in denial that he's Amish. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, he does look Amish.
But
He's got that look about him.
yeah, he. Here's good things I like about it. He took on Steve Anderson on when he went after Jewish people. He stand up for Jewish people against Anderson, and he's here. Big bad
Big
mama.
bad mama. Hey.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can
Yeah.
hear you.
How's it coming through?
Good.
Yeah, we can hear you fine.
How's everybody doing?
Oh,
Good.
I'm
How
doing
are
all
you
right.
doing?
I'm doing good. I'm tired. I've been hiking.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
I'm
know that.
sitting in. Huh?
He
Oh,
said.
go ahead.
He said that. I talked to Achilles. He said he would like to do another discussion with you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll
Sorry.
have to think of something to talk about.
Yeah. What are you gonna say?
He doesn't like my topics.
He wouldn't mind talking about evolution or the arc, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, how you been? Did you have fun?
Yeah, I'm having fun. I'm still on my vacation. I'm in a parking lot, saw you guys were on, and so just decided to say hi.
Oh, thank you. Miss Ahmad, she did a show today, but lately she hasn't been doing a show the other days because her power was out at the place because of the storm.
Oh, she was able to do her show today?
Yeah, she got it back on and stuff, but I think she said she's gonna uh not do any more lately after this because the storm problems, I guess.
Oh,
What do you think?
I don't know. That's
Well, Steve,
a horrible situation down there.
yeah, Steven was on there.
Hmm. What do you
Yeah,
have to say?
I'm not sure. I was busy talking to Keeley. But Keeley, he said he's having fun with his motorcycle.
Good.
He's been busy with that.
I'm glad he's getting outside and
Yeah, he's a good little guy. Yeah, and Mark, he finally came out as a Jesuit priest.
No, I didn't.
Sorry, Mark.
I'm still in
That's
the closet, gangster.
okay.
That rumor is going to stick if you don't watch it.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry, Mark, but that we got started with
Lupin.
Lupin, and then kind of got pushed by Tim. He said President leads the Catholic. I'm sorry, Mark. I'm just joking with you.
No, you're good.
Oh,
I forgive you.
thank you. Oh, I think yesterday, Fire Truck challenged Tim to a debate. Look, Tim wants to do
That'll
it
be interesting.
Right?
on uh, standing for truth.
Really?
Yeah, Fire Truck wanted to do it on my show or Mod's show, but Tim wants to do it on standing for truth show. So they're going to do it on there.
Okay.
It's about
That'll be interesting.
church's history.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
that
thought Tim didn't know anything about the church's history.
he said he looking back, like he said he found stuff about. Here's this guy. I forgot sent a letter to some church saying not some church saying that try to force him to have the communion. I guess, well, the Catholic version of it, and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't want to do it. He tried. Said that's one of his evidence against the Catholic Church. I guess. Yeah, is that crazy?
Well, I mean, every modern church owes something to the Catholic Church, I would imagine, in terms of their literature. And I mean, you can't just dismiss the Catholic Church and then just say, you know, it's it's nothing. They're not God believers. I mean, weren't they instrumental in choosing at the councils what books went into the New Testament?
Uh, Mark would know. Do you know Mark?
Mark, do you know that?
What was that? I'm sorry, I was
So the Catholic
reading.
Church was instrumental in choosing what books went into the Bible, the New Testament, right?
Yeah. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, they
so you
established
can't just
canon
people
officially.
can't just people can't just blow off the Catholic Church and not understand what part of it, what it played in their own history of their religion.
Yeah. What do you think, Mark?
Well, I mean, we had the Old Testament already long before the church.
Right.
I mean, that's the Tanakh, you know. Um, it wasn't until about the third century, I think it was, that we got the Septuagint. Um, and I guess that was disputed with the apocryphal books and everything. But it was the councils of the early Catholic Church that established what books were, what we call today the Bible.
Oh.
Right. I mean, some books didn't make it, like the Gospel of Thomas almost made it into the Bible, but there were a bunch of books that got booted out, I think.
Well, I think the most hotly contested book was actually Hebrews, whether it should be included
Okay.
or not. The rest of them were just kind of accepted. This is canon, this is not. There wasn't much debate about it. But Hebrews, there seemed to be quite a bit of hoopla surrounding its inclusion.
So when is that debate going to be scheduled? Is it just kind of talk at this point, or?
Yeah, I think it's Fire Chuck say he's gonna email Standing for Truth.
Okay.
What do you think? Would you like to see that?
Probably.
What about would you like to see it? I also heard before that Steven said he would like to debate Fire Chuck, but he would do it on Tim's channel. I could be the
On what?
on Tim's channel.
Oh,
Steven, that's what he said before. I'm not sure. No, he might change his mind, but he would debate him on there. He says something about, is this true? I always hear people say that the Catholic Church changed the Ten Commandments to get rid of the sin of like one commandment about idolatry. Not to make idols.
Idolatry?
Yeah,
I'm not. Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not.
but get rid of that Ten Commandment about.
Yeah.
Is that true, Mark? You should know your Mark. Are you there, Mark?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I hear people always say that Catholic Church changed the Ten Commandments to get rid of the one about it's a sin to make idols.
It's still in there.
I mean, the Catholic version of the
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a Catholic Bible.
I thought you did.
No,
Sorry, you're doing a bad job being a Jesuit priest, Mark.
I
I knew
know.
that was
I'm the
coming.
worst Jesuit priest there ever was.
I'm sorry, Mark. I can't help it. It's like Brother Pike in his shorts.
Right?
What earlier we saw a
That's
video.
true.
Lupin was out. He put his camera down and he's going there to jump in the pool. I say, "Oh no, you got shorts there, Brother Pike."
Yeah, that was funny.
And Brother Pike said, "I wish I was that blind." When he saw Lupin out there without a shirt. Is that crazy, Big Bad Mama?
Yeah, was that recent?
Yeah, a little bit
Yeah, it was
earlier.
earlier on this stream.
Oh,
He went swimming.
It was funny. Uh, he was on here saying stuff about preterism, and Mark asked him why. Is that it, Mark?
Yeah, he said preterism is flawed and should be rejected as theology, which it's not theology, it's eschatology. But I asked him, what were the flaws, and he's like, "Oh, I don't have time to talk about it."
Oh.
So
He said he liked to do it on his channel, I guess.
okay, I don't really go on his channel.
Oh. It's called the Wolf Den, the Den of Wolves.
Oh,
Boyer
well,
Wolf.
this thing with that you were discussing with Tim was interesting, Mark. That where he was claiming that the alphabet soup wouldn't spell out some word, 1 in 10 octillion chance or something.
right. Well, that was a completely fabricated, statistic, but he was using that to, bolster his argument, which you can't just make stuff up like a statistic and then claim that it defeats another position or strengthens yours in any way. You can't just do that.
Right. And that doesn't accurately represent the evolutionary model anyway.
Right.
These processes are not random. They're natural processes, but they're processes of chemistry and physics that have, pretty strict and rigid rules. So
Right.
it's not letters randomly spelt out in a soup. And also, there's the time factor that he doesn't allow, like that these processes were incremental and took billions of years, as opposed to, I don't know what the alphabet in the soup, how long of a time period that is, but it just doesn't represent the scientific model as far as I could tell. I think you argued that point pretty well yesterday.
Thanks. It didn't make sense how he was claiming, that statistically one thing is improbable when the statistic he was making was completely made up and not representative of the actual claim of abiogenesis, which I don't believe in abiogenesis, and that's not where I'm coming from. But if you're going to make an argument and you're going to make a claim, you got to be able to support that claim. Otherwise, your argument is invalid.
Right. I mean, you have to steel man the argument if you're going to make that argument.
Right.
And he wasn't doing that properly with that analogy.
Oh. Do you believe in B Genesis?
I believe in Genesis.
What's
What
that?
about
Well,
Sega Genesis? Oh.
Was
Yeah,
Sega Genesis no, Atari was first, right?
yeah, I think Atari was first. Yeah,
I
it's
had the
actually
first Pong machine on our television. That was the first video game, I think.
That's showing your age, Big Bad Mama.
Right. Right. And then we were so excited, it moved to things like Missile Command and Asteroids. And, you went to the arcade to play those games, and you put the quarter on the machine, and it was a good time.
here's another game I remember. I think it might have been before that. Something you put on your screen that had two lights, one bounced off of each other. It's like a first Pong.
Well,
Well,
that's what, yeah, Pong had like these two paddles, and then there was just a blip of light that went in between them, and it sped up, and you could bounce it off the wall. It wasn't terribly exciting, but for that time it was.
guess who's back here? Miss Outcast.
Big bad
Hi.
mama, hey. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Big bad mama is here.
Well, back just in time for me to say bye because I gotta hop off.
We're gonna
Oh,
miss you.
why
I'm
do
See you
so
you
later.
hate me,
sorry.
Mark?
I don't hate anybody.
Okay,
And
I
Right. You
miss
guys
you.
have a good afternoon. I'll talk to y'all later.
tell your
Bye,
friend
Mark.
Yeah,
Bye.
take care.
Jesuits who said hi. Oh, right. My bad. Uh, yeah,
I'm looking at Mono Lake right now, which is a salt-filled lake that's out in the desert, and it fills up a giant volcanic crater. And it's a national scenic wonder. And that's where I'm at right now.
Mono Lake.
Mono Lake.
Oh.
It's beautiful. And there's
Ooh.
tufa towers. Tufa is deposited from freshwater springs, and it deposited so much that it made these towers, and they're really odd looking calcium carbonate towers. They get exposed once the water levels have dropped, and now you have these kind of big calcium carbonate towers sticking out of the water. I'll send you a photo.
Do it.
Tufa, Tufa, is the name of that stuff.
Foof.
Tufa with a T.
Ah.
oh, you serious?
But it's a beautiful area I'm looking at right now. But I decided to talk to you guys for a while because it's
Oh,
important.
thank you.
Good.
Oh,
We miss you.
yeah, we missed.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Big Bad Mama.
yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy the other day. Tim got into it with Far Charles.
When
What
was
was
that?
the crux of their argument?
Yeah.
I think it was about
History of the church?
yeah. And Tim says he thinks that Jesuits like I'm not sure like that preterism leads to being Catholic. And
So they act like it's like worse than Satan worship when they
Yeah.
mention these things, like the Jesuits or the preterists.
yeah,
They don't talk about like Satanists or atheists that bad.
yeah,
That's true.
yeah. And uh, uh, what else? I think Tim also talked about that. He said Catholic Church is evil. I guess he thinks it is, and Fire Chalk disagreed. Told him about all the stuff Catholic Church done, and he talked about that the Catholic Church burned heretics or burned people at the time, and
Well, the Protestants and the Catholics were in a war. Wasn't it the 30-Year War? And it was one of the worst
Yeah.
things that ever happened in Europe. They were killing each other town by town.
Yeah.
Um,
And the burning it wasn't just Catholics burning Protestants. It
It
was
was both.
equal. Yeah, it was equally the other way around.
And these guys make it seem like not only is Catholicism not part of their history, but Protestantism is not part of their history. They want to try to skirt around the entire Reformation and try to tie their origins back to like early church or whatever, and it's just skipping their entire history. I mean,
Yeah.
Baptists themselves were from England, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
They came out of Martin Luther's Reformation.
Yeah.
Uh, but Kent said they came from John the Baptist.
Right, because he's an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what he said
It's as
before.
simple as that.
It was crazy. He said that before. That
John the Baptist.
well, something like that. He said that heard these other Christians were baptizing people, and the Catholics started calling them Baptists, or I don't know. It was some crazy stuff he said.
Well,
He
weren't
said,
they Anabaptists?
yeah,
But I
I
think
think
that was like England during the 1600s or something.
Yeah.
I think so. He said
I mean,
John John wasn't John the Methodist, but he was John the Baptist.
that's right.
Flawless logic right there.
Right.
Yeah, he said that last. He said it in some place to kids and stuff that John wasn't
Oh
John the
God.
Methodist.
That's like people that say Nazis have socialism in their name, therefore they must be socialist.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Well, I need to tell
But
you some.
to
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, I think Kent's having another open mic. Would you ever go on there?
I may, but I'll have to get home and get back on my computer. I'm not going to do it on my phone, but I may one of these times.
What would you
I've
like to?
got a couple good lines of
Yeah.
questions I'd like to ask him if he lets me.
Oh. What if he asks
Okay.
you, why do they call you Big Bad Mama?
He
You don't like
always,
to find. Oh, sorry.
oh, you have a man's voice. It's like, it's YouTube. Come on.
Yeah. That's what he said to you before. Remember?
Yeah, I do.
That was a while ago. That was,
I'm still trying to tie the three girls that got kicked out with their mother
yeah.
Yeah.
back to Stephen Boland's cousins that were living next to the store.
But
And there was a rumor about the hen house. Do you remember that?
yeah, and I think it was his cousins.
I'm pretty sure it's the same. He never said, but I'm pretty sure it could have been the reason why everybody left Dinosaur Adventureland at the same time.
Oh.
Could be.
I don't know if that's true or not, but
But it's a good
it's a
story.
good theory.
Mm.
Who cares if it's true or not? I'm going to go with it.
Right?
Would you like me to ask him?
Ask him.
Yeah. He was on earlier, but if you have a show today, I could ask him for you.
Okay. Just ask him if it was Yassam and her daughters.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He was on earlier. With everyone. I wasn't sure what he was talking about, but yeah, he was on there. Is that crazy?
What he was on
Yeah.
here on your channel?
No, it was on Miss and Mod's channel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was her show pretty normal?
Yeah.
What does
Oh,
that
that's good.
mean?
What?
What does that mean?
Well, no dumpster fired.
Oh, okay, okay.
That wasn't too bad.
Okay.
Uh, you want me to send you the link to the show?
I can find it. Thank you, though. You
Yeah,
can't have a dumpster fire every day.
yeah. It was crazy. It had Steven on there. Tim was on there. Lupin was on there. Darth was on there. And
The
this,
dream team.
yeah,
It's interesting that Steven wants to go on to her stream, given what he himself has said about her.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Hmm. Kind of make you think that his motives may be not that pure.
No, they're always trying to split apart the community. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the goal every time. Now, maybe somebody like Tim, who's new,
Yeah.
just wants to go on there and talk
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
and have
Absolutely.
discussions, but um, some of these other guys, I just, and
Yeah.
Dustin might want to just have discussions.
Yeah.
Um, Lupin's just in it to distract and to um,
Play video games with Achilles.
yeah, that was weird.
Yup.
Why would you do that on somebody else's stream
Yup.
and not even tell anybody that you're doing it? You just start doing it.
Yep.
But the way you guys reacted was hilarious. You started whispering to each other like they weren't there, and it made those guys look foolish, actually.
Yep.
Yeah, that
Big
was
Ben
Yeah.
funny.
Alma.
Yeah,
Yes. Can I talk to you out for the show real quick?
sure. If you're going to end it in the not too distant future, because I have to get going pretty soon.
Not too distant future. Here's a guy named Joe. Just a regular guy, just you and me. I forgot how the song go.
What tune is that?
Mystery Science Theater.
Oh, okay. I love Mystery Science Theater.
Was that based on you?
No.
Oh, okay. I've been on long enough. I need to talk to you.